They thought she was just another old lady on the block. Fragile, polite, forgettable. But what the HOA didn't know was that she raised the city's most feared police chief, and she knew exactly how to bring the pain without ever raising her voice. It all started with a flower. A single bright red tulip that bloomed near her mailbox, planted by her late husband 10 years ago. Every spring, it came back. And every spring, she stood out there at sunrise just to look at it. It wasn't against any rule, never had been. But this year, it got flagged. HOA violation notice right there on her door, like it was a parking ticket. Unauthorized planting in a community-controlled green space. It said her name is Margie Keller, 72, retired schoolteacher. Widow, keeps her lawn cleaner than most, pays her dues. Bakes cookies for the neighbors. The kind of woman you'd expect to just sigh and pull up the flower. But instead, she called her son. "Morning, baby," she said sweetly over the phone. "Do you know if it's legal for the HOA to fine me for a tulip?" He paused. His name is Marcus Keller. And he isn't just any cop. He's the police chief of the entire county. Did they send a formal notice? He asked. Printed paper. No letterhead, no signature. Just taped to the door with masking tape. His tone shifted instantly. "I'm coming over." By noon, Marcus was on her porch in full uniform, 6'3", tactical calm. Radiating "don't mess with my mother" energy. He picked up the so-called violation, read it twice, and chuckled. "This isn't even real," he muttered. "This is bullying." He walked straight across the street to the HOA president's house. Gerald Whitman, mid-50s, golf shirts and sunglasses with a mouth that rarely shuts and a spine made of paper. Marcus knocked once, then twice harder. Gerald opened the door with that fake neighborly grin until he saw the badge. "Is there a problem, Chief?" he asked. "Yeah," Marcus said, holding up the paper. "This fake violation." "Did you write?" "This?" Gerald stuttered. "Well, the board, we voted to start enforcing." "This isn't enforcement. This is harassment. This isn't even formatted like a legal notice. You used masking tape." Gerald straightened up, trying to sound brave. "Your mother's flower bed crosses into the HOA strip." "And that's been there for a decade," Marcus shot back. "No one ever said a word. You're making up rules because you feel entitled to control." Gerald's smile dropped. "We'll have the board review it," he said weakly. "You do that," Marcus said. "But know this, every fake fine, every piece of paper you post without due process, every neighbor you intimidate, I'm logging it. I don't need to throw my badge around. I'll use your own bylaws to burn you down." Gerald shut the door. That should have been the end of it, but it was in single quotes. 3 days later, Margie found a second notice. This time in a bright red envelope. Fine increased to $250. Threat of legal action. Still no signature, no HOA seal, no official form number. Marcus wasn't just angry now, he was invested. He called in a friend from the city's legal affairs department. They reviewed the HOA's filing history and uncovered something interesting. Gerald had been re-elected 3 months ago in a vote that never actually happened. No community ballots, no open nominations. Just a meeting with his 2 best friends and some forged minutes. So Marcus and Margie invited the local news. They didn't tell the HOA. They just waited. Next Saturday, a film crew pulled up. Margie stood on her lawn, wearing a floral dress and a calm smile. She explained the tulip story to the reporter, how her late husband planted it, how no one ever complained, and how suddenly it was a threat to the neighborhood. Marcus stood behind her, arms crossed, uniform crisp, face unreadable. HOA members came out onto their porches, suddenly sheepish. Gerald peered through his blinds like a teenager caught sneaking in past curfew. The story aired that evening. By Monday, the entire town was talking. Other neighbors came forward with their own stories of being fined for wind chimes, for leaving. A watering can out overnight for paint that was 2 shades too creamy. The HOA had been running on fear. But Margie didn't scare easy. Marcus filed a formal complaint with the Department of Housing. Then he helped 5 neighbors sign a petition to hold a community vote to suspend the current board and review the association's rules. Gerald tried to send out a mass email calling it slander. He accidentally CC'd the entire county sheriff's office. By the end of the week, Margie's tulip was still there. A little droopier than before. But not alone anymore, dozens of neighbors had planted flowers around their mailboxes in quiet defiance. Red, yellow, purple, a line of color blooming against years of silence. And as for Margie, she was out on her lawn, holding a fresh cup of tea, waving to everyone who passed. Quiet, graceful, and undefeated. They thought she was just an old lady with a flower. But she was the reason the whole garden grew back.